Diversification is a dumb strategy.
Who says so? Diversification is correct.
You know what? Who says so?
Who?
Warren Buffett also says so.
Look at his portfolio. It is diversified.
Is it? Let's check it out, man.
This is why we're giving you unpopular financial opinions.
So Warren Buffett has this very famous saying, he
Yeah.
says that of course diversification of a portfolio, alright, is a sure way, alright, to not make money, right? Basically just a way to preserve wealth. If a way to preserve wealth, then how can it's not for growth of money, then what is it for? Right? So who is it for? Right? I don't think it's even for the mass market audience where we are all looking to try to double our money, have a much bigger gain. So what's the point?
So are you saying that he has only one stock counter?
No, I think that he's focused into like 3 to 5 stock counter, which is really a whole point of it not being diversified, right?
He still holds like Coca-Cola, Apple, still a lot more.
I agree.
Seas candy.
Hey, I agree, but if you really deep dive into it, right, I believe that his top 3 to 5 portfolio, I believe it takes up a big percentage of his whole portfolio, right? So technically, you think about it, that's not really diversified. Got it right? Let's explain a bit. I'm going to know what for your sake.
He still has a lot of private companies.
For your sake, I'm going to explain a bit deeper.
Sure.
Okay. To me personally, I think that diversification is not for everyone. In fact, it's not for most people.
But everyone knows that if you put all your eggs in one basket, right? And if the basket has a hole, then all your eggs will fall and crack.
I agree, right? However, we must understand that diversification is for what? It's to preserve wealth. If you have no wealth in first place, then you preserve what? For what, right? Nothing to preserve. Let
me ask you, how many hands do you have?
I have 2 hands.
You see, even God gave you 2 hands, so
Yes.
you're diversified into 2 hands. How many fingers do you have?
5 fingers.
You have 10
on one
fingers.
hand.
10 fingers.
On one hand.
So you're also diversified, what?
But body
Wait,
parts,
how many eyes do you have?
I have 2.
Yeah. So if I poke you in one, you still have one.
That's a very interesting analogy, Ivan. But however, alright, you really think about it from diversification point of view when it comes to investment, right? So say if you really have nothing much to so-called grow or to protect, then there's really no point in diversification. I think it's better to go into focus into that few property or that few investment strategy that you are very good at, and to go double down on this particular strategy such that when it grows, you can easily double, triple your wealth. I think that's the key that I really look at. I think the key here is that diversification is to obviously preserve
What if
wealth.
you put your money into Johnson & Johnson baby powder?
Okay, so that's where I think research and of course expertise comes into play, right? I think the key here is that when we diversify, our intention is basically spread across multiple things, right? And being an expert in multiple things is harder as compared to being an expert in 1 or 2. That's the key, right? And I believe that many of our audiences over here are also very busy professionals. I think expecting them to be good at their career, putting a lot of time in their career, at the same time being very good at understudying 50 stocks and then become very good at it, understanding multiple countries in property across different asset class and be very good at all of them, I think that becomes a bit challenging. I mean, I speak from my own personal experience as well, right? For me, I started off obviously in investing very heavily into property. I got very good at industrial property first before even thinking of investing into anything else. Alright, so my second path was then obviously to invest into UK properties. Right, even when I'm very good at it already, I have good success, then I look at other countries, right? So I don't go like one time, I'm going to invest in 5 different countries, 10 different countries, right? Because I want to be an expert into one investment strategy, be very good at it, and then perhaps I might go on to the next, right? And to me, I have a problem when I start putting more attention to other things. So I dabble into stocks, I dabble into a little bit into cryptocurrency, I bought multiple companies and things like that. It didn't do too well for me. Maybe I need to be a better investor into the other aspect, but so far what works for me, alright, is to really focus all my time and energy into one or these few things that I think I can be very good at, become a little bit better at it, before I look into even diversifying my attention into others.
Well, I agree with you that it's hard to focus or get good at so many things.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is what if we diversify into 10 kinds of assets.
Okay.
So when we try to do 10, we will be diversified across different industry, and there will be a more safety, right? Instead of getting hit by a black swan event into just one sector.
I see. So it comes down all down to time. I mean, let's be open over here, right? How long do you spend in terms of time perspective, all right, to really understand one company, or you buy stocks, right?
Yeah.
One company stock in and out. That means that you being so confident to put a huge sum of money into it.
Well,
how long does it take?
How long does it take? I would say it will take at least a month or two.
To really be like super confident, right?
Yes.
You really usually want to study in depth into that company, which takes time.
Yes.
And that's my whole problem over here, because I mean, for me personally, I'm very busy in my work, all right, and finding time to out of my career is challenging. And because of that, I think that is why I failed in this diversification strategy. Because when I tend to diversify, all right, I tend not to put in enough attention into this.
Bro, focus on reading up on investing.
That's a good suggestion. All right, I might consider that suggestion. But what makes it easier for me is because obviously I'm in the property business. Hence, all right, I'm kind of handcuffed to be very good at what I do, right? And because of that, I'm super confident in putting my money in the property, lah. All right. Hence, because of that, I have like, I don't know, 96%, maybe 95% of my money into property. A little bit diversified across different assets in property perspective, but then in a way still very concentrated in the property, right? And when we look at it in this scenario, I'm not that diversified.
Well,
right?
Let me share with you how I try to be diversified and safe at the same time. Yeah, so basically, right, I agree with you, it's hard to master every single thing. So what I do, right, is to be in a mastermind. So I mean, when we are in the real estate business, right, we are like in the real estate mastermind with a lot of folks.
We talk about real estate, right, all the time.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. And for when it comes to like investing into equity or stocks, right, basically I also find a mastermind, right, so that we can bounce off ideas and learn from each other. Those that are good at like value investing.
So what will you say to someone with, let's say, only like 30,000 to really invest, right? Should they still invest in 10 stocks?
Hey, we covered this in our previous topic, man.
All right, so do remember, go check it out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, in that scenario, right? I mean,
if I start with 30,000, right? To me, there's two routes. Because one, if I want to go into real estate, I will share with others so that I start to gain the experience, right, into investing in real estate. Because sometimes talk, right, is cheap. But once we put our money in to invest in something,
intelligence go up, right?
Yes, our intelligence go up. All our awareness, to be true, is awareness, and we figure this thing out on how to invest. So if that is not the path I will go for, right, the other path, right, is really to find a mastermind, to learn, and also to read up, basically from books or like online, like YouTube, and to learn and become better at the craft.
So I think the key here is to really have something that's a bit more balanced. I mean, of course, going too extreme to the point where saying diversification, that means don't do it at all. I think maybe it might be a bit extreme, right? But to me, if we are even the other expectation that diversify to the point that so that we don't ever lose money, right? I think that is something that is not effective as well. So I think the key is to finding somewhere in the middle. What works for me is to master something first, be good at it, so that I know that I have that consistent return. Then I start looking into other spectrum of investments such as stocks and so on and so forth, right? And of course, the thing here is that also don't go to the point where if you know that diversification is to preserve wealth, I mean that's the whole point of it, then make sure you have enough first before you go full diversification strategy and go into like 50 stocks, 100 stocks, or whatever it is. But instead, I'll focus a high percentage to, let's say, what I'm good at, real estate, and then I'll take a percentage, maybe like 10%, 15% to put into like stocks, etc. All right, I think that is going to be
no
my
more crypto
balance.
for you,
A little bit in crypto maybe, right? But that's going to be my version of a balanced portfolio, because that's what will work for me.
For me, right, personally, I will put 50% in real estate, right, another 50% into equities. So to me, that looks more like a balanced portfolio for me.
Yep. So maybe one day when I reach your wealth level, I'll be in that position.
You can do it anytime, come on. It's a choice.
Right. So I think all in all, guys, I think the key here is that I think whatever investment strategy is, all right, do remember that I think that I'm very buy into mastering one first. All right, be good at it, gain confidence, and then move on to a second and third. I think the key here is that if you are very spread out, you might not have good success in any of them. And that might be very discouraging for your own investment journey.
Okay, so you're not saying that diversification is dumb, right? You're saying that over diversification is dumb.
Yes, especially when you talk about over diversification when it comes to just a beginner investor. I think that is not very smart thing.
Okay, I got it. That means I'm right and you are dumb. Okay, if you guys agree with me, give a thumbs up. If you want to disagree, right, and say that Ivan is correct, then type a comment in the chat so that Shawn knows that his dumb statement is dumb.
And guys, do not forget to check out our other videos such as will 2024 means property crash, alright, or is there an oversupply in 2024 for property, right? So do check out other videos, alright. If you like what you see here, just do remember give us a thumbs up, alright, and see you guys next video.